Dr. Shabir, the question is, why aren't there any female prophets in Islam?
So we need to correct the question and say that there may have been female prophets in Islam. So maybe the question is more, why aren't female prophets
well
more
known? Why don't we
widely
know
known
about them? Yes.
in Islam? So let me clarify at the two levels. Why did I feel the need to modify the question? And even before that, it is necessary to address it as a kind of a new question, like why do we have this kind of new question? Because some people may think that some aspects of Islam are so well settled that, like, why are we like starting up something here? But the fact is that this is what young people are asking nowadays. For many older folks, it was a given. We know this, and it's okay. There have been no female prophets, and we're cool with that. Some may even think that men are superior to women, and therefore it makes sense. Men are the prophets, women are not. They're only recipients of the divine message communicated through a male prophet. But the modern youth are asking about this because they grow up in a world in which equality is emphasized, and they see women rising to all levels of power. A woman can be a president of even a Muslim country. So why couldn't a woman be a prophet then? Especially since, it is thought that one more effectively communicates a message to a person that is similar to the communicator. Or to put it another way, one receives a message more easily and readily from somebody who we perceive to be similar to ourselves. Wouldn't women benefit from being able to receive a message from a female communicator, a prophetess communicating God's message? But for large segments of human history, women did not have these kinds of roles that we see in modern times, and perhaps this explains why women prophets are lesser known. But in any case, now we have to address this as
of course, there are some
question.
ancient matriarchal societies as well where women, had power.
Yes, and for that reason, we do notice that in some societies, prophets are mentioned. And in the Bible, we find that in ancient times, there were prophetesses. Miriam, the sister of Moses, was said to be a prophet. And there is Deborah in the Old Testament who's said to be a prophet. In the New Testament, Anna is said to be a prophetess in the Gospel according to Luke. Now, in the New Testament, prophet seems to mean something more broad than what Muslims understand to be a prophet of God.
Okay.
When Muslims speak of a prophet of God, they intend somebody who has been so privy to divine revelation that when they speak, it's like they're speaking on behalf of God, and their word has to be taken as true as if God said it himself. Whereas in the New Testament, a prophet seems to mean what the term in Greek literally means, one who speaks...
prophecies?
Yes, one who speaks about something before it actually happens. So one who foretells, as opposed to one who tells for. So a prophet may mean one who speaks on behalf of God, so one who is telling it for God. But it could also be one who foretells, one who tells it before it happens. In which case, a prophet can be someone like a visionary, a seer, a fortune reader type of thing. So in that case, there are many prophets in the Bible, before Jesus and even after Jesus. Especially
so the women prophets who are mentioned in the Bible are not very prominent? Is that what I understand?
No, they're not very prominent. For example, Miriam, whom you mentioned, she is eclipsed by her brothers who are, in the Islamic tradition at least, said to be major prophets. And in the Bible, Moses is obviously a major prophet. And Aaron, too, according to Islamic tradition, is an important and significant prophet. And so when Miriam is... mentioned for the Muslim imagination, it's not. She does not get the consideration as a prophetess. And now, in the Quran, there is a verse that says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ إِلَّا رِجَالًا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِمْ فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. That's in the 21st chapter of the Quran, where it says, we have not sent prior to you, that is prior to the Prophet Muhammad, in whom be peace, except men, meaning men as prophets and messengers, and then ask those who have been reading the scripture before you if you do not know. So the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, is being directed to ask the people of the previous scripture, meaning those who are studious in the Bible, about this sort of information to verify that it is only men. Now, I've translated men because that's how it's commonly translated and understood. But the Arabic term there is rijal, which usually means men. But some commentators say that rijal literally means those who walk on rijl, which means leg. Means human beings then, more broadly. So, in ancient times we spoke about men when we meant human beings more generally. So it seems that this is what is intended here, though it uses the term which commonly is translated men, but it should be taken here in the sense of human beings.
It should, or it could be?
It could be taken. It could be taken in the sense of human beings, and maybe I should go back to saying it should, because there's no reason to limit it to men alone, especially when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is being told, ask the people of the scripture before you. Because if we were to ask the people of the scriptures, meaning those who are studious in the Bible, experts in the Bible, will readily tell us that, yeah, they have been female prophets. So the conclusion is that they have been both male and female prophets, and that's how we should therefore take this verse of the Quran. We're running out of time, I believe, for this segment, but very quickly we should add that the way Mary, mother of Jesus, is spoken about in the Quran, it led some Muslim scholars, for example, Al-Qurtubi in his tafsir of the Quran, to propose that she was a prophet as well.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.